Hello, Music Worcester fans. Adrien Finlay here, back with Milad Yousufi, this time with a completely different topic. Milad, one of the stories of your past that we know that you were going to share with several of our community groups this past March for the residency, which ultimately didn't happen, but your week-long residency you were going to spend your spring break with us, was this incredible story, a saga of sorts, I would probably call it, of the story of your very first piano. And it's just kind of mind-boggling to know the history of this instrument and what happened to it before and after you even found out about it. So how would you even begin? If you took us back, how did you first even hear about this piano that you eventually called your own?
So it's a very good story. So uh, as you know, in Afghanistan, after civil war, there has not been much piano. I mean, many piano left. So uh, I mean, if you count, there might be 8 or 9 pianos in the entire country. I'm sure 8 of them are at our school, and ninth is in the house that I have, probably somewhere else or 10 around that. So I've been always wanted to have a real piano, always. But as you know, it's really hard in Afghanistan to order online, and it comes to it. It might come. It will come to an embassy, and from that embassy, one should go and get it. I mean, as you know, it's not an ideal. So, luckily, I've been always asking my teachers if you see any piano anywhere, please let me know. And they knew that I've always wanted to have one. And then suddenly, one day, a teacher of mine told me that they found a piano like a few miles away from the school in someone's yard. And I was wondering, like, how can they found it? I was like, and they realized that the owner of the house left the country, and he buried the piano underneath the ground in his yard. And they found it after raining, and a few years passed. They saw something, and then when they dig the ground, they found the piano there. So they took the piano out.
He literally buried a piano in his yard.
Yeah, but he was very smart that he put a lot of plastics and things and foams so it can last. But it's still, I mean, it's not a good idea to bury a piano underneath the ground. So, and then they took it out the piano, and it stayed in the yard for 2 years under the sun and rain and snow and everything. And they let me know after 2 years that which was underneath the inside the yard. And then when I heard about it, I immediately told my father that my teacher found the piano. Please, let's go and then see how to buy it. I didn't even think of like seeing it. I just said let's go and buy it. So my father said, okay, let's see it once. So we went there, and I thought like it was my favorite color, like wooden brown, and I was so excited. That was a very emotional moment for me. I said, I'm gonna get it, whatever, even if it doesn't work, I'm gonna put it as a furniture there. So I took that. I mean, we bought that piano for $200, I remember, and it's very heavy. It was made in Russia, and it was very heavy upright. So we finally brought it. My father had a car. He asked his driver to pick that piano. He had a Range Rover with a back. So finally we brought it up, and it 14 people. It took 14 people to get the piano to the third floor where we used to live.
Oh my
So
gosh.
yeah, so that's finally we brought it there, and then I was very excited. And but then I realized that there was one piano tuner that in Kabul that I knew. He's very famous. He's the only one who can tune and fix pianos. When I asked him, he said that's not possible to fix it. He's professional, so I was very disappointed, and I said, oh, I mean, it's just not fixable. So I was very disappointed, and I said, how can? So and then I hear from another teacher that there is someone who lives in Pakistan. Originally, he's from Afghanistan, who lived 6 months in Pakistan and 6 months in Afghanistan. So he said next time when he comes, we'll ask him if he can fix it. He's just an amateur. He just taught himself to tune pianos and to fix them. He's not a professional. So when he came, we went to pick him up with the car we had, and then with the car we had, and then he came, and then he saw the piano, and then he was thinking, and he said, "Yes, I can fix it." And I was like so happy, and I was really, really happy, and I was jumping here and there, so that he can fix it. So in 20 days he fixed that. So he worked on everything, on actions, on keys, and he tuned it like 5 or 6 times because the tuning was not good, and then fixed it. So finally I had the piano to practice, and later on there was a piano tuner came from Australia to teach to have a workshop of how to tune piano. So I was one of the students, and I learned how to tune piano and fix certain things, and then I learned to tune my piano, and then I tuned it every 6 months, and then I was playing it until it didn't last for 1 year until I sold back the piano because we needed to buy LED TV for our living room that was there. So my mom was very happy about it, and I'm happy too that I sold that piano. But I still like and I wish I had it. So it's a very meaningful.
So how old were you when this piano came up those 3 flights of stairs to the apartment?
I was 18.
Jeez, and was that the first time you had seen a piano so close?
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, we had pianos in our school. There was piano that I used to practice grand piano, but it was my first own piano that I owned it. So it was the very, very first piano that I ever had.
That is, I can't believe that an instrument made it through years of being buried and then a couple of years of being in a yard.
Yeah, and then I saw the date. It was made in 1952. And someone brought it from Russia because during the Soviet Union, it was the time that when the people were they knew what jazz was, the Beatles and the music, so they were very familiar with the Western culture. So it was the time that the piano was brought up. And then when the owner left Afghanistan, they buried it. So because as you know, when the Taliban knew that you had an instrument, they would have burned it, and they would have hurt or killed even the owner. So that's why he buried it. He even couldn't burn it, so that if he burned it, the people would know that something is burning in that yard. What is it? So that's why he suddenly buried it and then left the country.
Oh, jeez. Well, it's so fascinating to hear all of that, Milad, and how you really had your first piano. And well, look where you are now. You're practicing on a Steinway these days, right?
Yeah, I'm glad you have been part of that surprise uh, concert. So yeah, I'm very lucky. I just came from practicing from there.
Yeah, yeah. Now, are you tuning that piano too, or do you have someone else do it for you?
Someone else is doing that for me because someone mentioned maybe I have to practice tuning and then tune it. It's very sensitive piano, so I'm being careful.
Yeah. Very good. Well, Milad, thanks again for sharing that story with us, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Oh, my pleasure. Anytime. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.